Yeah, the Super Sega. We got to talk about these fools once again. Will it be the end? Will it be the last time? Maybe, maybe not. The most powerful FPGA device to play all Sega games and cartridges. There's been some question to that, but these guys, Alejandro specifically, the guy in charge of this thing, he was very hell-bent in the beginning, since the beginning, about the use of the name Super Sega. I remember so many emails that I received, a lot of the stuff that he was putting on his channel about, hey, we've been utilizing the Super Sega name for a long time. There's a website, all these little things. There's no problem. Sega didn't give a crap about it back then. Why are they going to give a crap about it now, right? That was the biggest thing. So there's been a lot of goofy things going on with this, a lot. And we've talked about quite a few things. Some of the skepticism with the way they presented it, wonkiness behind it. There was a whole, what was there, like a Lamborghini thing where he like pulled out into a little parking structure? Didn't even seem like he knew how to drive the thing. I don't know if he rented it or if it was his. And he busted out the box with the Super Sega. It was ridiculous, all right? It was ridiculous. But they went ahead. They did their without compromise, with compromise, little €3 thing or $5 thing. And then people got right in the ass, dude. People were warned, man. People were warned. Some people were like, hey, it's just kind of for the fun of it. Screw it. A few dollars, I'm going in for the ride. And then what happened is they got charged the full damn price for this thing. Ridiculous. They got screwed. They got effed in the A. But now we got this little email that came out, and before I already know, every time I show my damn emails, and I'm going to tell you right now, I have like 8 different emails, and this is not the worst one, okay? This is not the worst one. Yes, I have an inbox with over 60,000 emails. Leave me alone. There's so many Russian brides and Asian brides in there just looking to get married and imported into the U.S. I don't freaking know, dude. Just, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's so much spam, okay? So much spam. I only look at the first 2 pages of my emails, and the rest of it's just like, if I get to it to delete it, I get to it, you know? But it just keeps accumulating. I can't help it. Can't help it. I don't know what to tell you. Leave me alone. But they sent this email, Sega asking for us to close the project and destroy all units being produced. Doesn't sound good, man. But let's take a read here. They got some screenshots of the request. Remember, these guys are out in Spain somewhere. The request from Sega and the attached link of what we will probably reply. So there's, whatever they attached here. Some crazy taxi action. Yeah, I don't know about that. The Dreamcast stuff running through FPGA. Come on now. News, sir. See above screenshots. Confidential. This is why we cannot share an entire document to you. The request from Sega. Download by us this Saturday. What will likely respond. Documents are confidential, but many people still thinks that we're a scam. And that request from Sega is fake. This is why we sent to a few people the entire request. Include details of Sega. Please stay tuned. Go to time extension for more info. I looked at the article. We'll go through that real quick. It didn't seem like there was much more than what's here, but whatever. But Sega to request to us not use any more Super Sega name. They were idiots from the frickin' get-go. From the get-go for using Sega. Because guess what, dude? There is no frickin' issue with you making an emulation device or an FPGA device as long as you're not using somebody else's IP. You're not using somebody else's software, or you get the license to do so, right? If you're making your own FPGA cores, or you license somebody else's cores, you pay for somebody else's cores, and you put that package together, and you put it out there, and you say, hey, this thing plays Sega consoles, but you don't call it a Sega system. As an example, Analog. They sold the Mega SG. Did you see Sega in the name of that thing? No, you didn't. Did Analog get in trouble? Did Analog work with Sega on that? Did Analog ask Sega if it was okay? No, they did not. Did Analog go to Nintendo and ask if it was okay to make the NT? No, they did not. Did they go to Nintendo to ask if it was okay to make the analog pocket? No, they did not. Because they did not specifically call these things by those companies' names. These guys are freaking fools. So, okay, yeah, you had a Super Sega website that hosted like things about Sega, scoreboards, whatever the hell they were doing. It was like a fan site. Sega typically didn't go after those kind of things, right? Sega, now, a lot of people have praised Sega in the past for being like fan friendly, and for the most part, they are, but they're not completely fan friendly. They're better than Nintendo, but they do go after people if they overstep their bounds a bit. And sometimes it is a little iffy on why are they going after people. They have, not to the extent as Nintendo. They're not as fan friendly as some people may make them out to be, but they are more fan friendly than most companies are. But yeah, having a Super Sega website that's a fan site type thing, maybe they're not going to like really pay much attention to it, right? But once you start trying to monetize something and make a product that's a console with the Sega name in it, and you're not licensed by Sega, yeah, and everybody's talking about it and it looks scammy as all hell, of course, of course, maybe Sega's going to get a whiff of it. You know, Sonic's going to be out there, got to go fast after your ass, right? So, as they said, don't use Super Sega name anymore. Destroy all prototypes and units being manufactured. This is the part that I'm like questioning. When they put out a cease and desist type thing, is it usually all that? Especially something like this that isn't very far along and it kind of seemed scammy to begin with? Or is this fake? Like they're saying, like, hey, some people think this is fake. Or is this just like Sega is like, yeah, you know what? This really seems very scummy. So let's really put some demands out there to get them to just stop this altogether, to not like drag our name through the mud and have us associated with this nonsense, right? But they're saying that's what they requested. I don't know. I'm no lawyer, you know what I mean? I ain't no rocket scientist when it comes to video game law. I just know some things ain't right and some things we just kind of skate around, you know what I mean? But destroy all prototypes, first batch to be delivered February, March, according to them, 200, 300 units, and to close the website. I'm assuming that's what that means, to close the web. To let them know our providers and hardware's used, units sold, money charged, etc. So like their providers, like the people who are manufacturing for them or whatever, we will consider to change the name, but not to stop production unless they pay all of our costs, expenses, and what consumers paid. I mean, I could understand that. Like, yeah, dude, you went balls deep in this if you're not really going to be trying to rip people off. And Sega's telling you, hey, you guys are idiots. Why are you using our name? I could see like, you know, having some kind of middle ground there, being like, okay, Sega, we sorry, right? We won't call it Super Sega. We'll change everything, but we're going to continue doing what we're doing. So if you don't like that, you could eat a big fat one. I mean, they were idiots to begin with to even think that it was okay to use Sega's name. Sega's a huge company. But I can understand their stance if this is all legit. Like, yeah, like we'll change the name. They said consider. Consider, like, maybe we'll do it. Like, I would be like, Sega, like, we'll change the name, but we're not going to do the rest of that stuff. Like, come on now. So I can understand that. Please watch below videos. First, Alejandro runs Dreamcast games. See, they're still promoting shit. Crazy Taxi shows all the cables, how he starts the device. Second video explains cooler sounds. Yesterday's discussion with Ignacio. Stay tuned for your opinion. Okay. UK users probably get a stream by Ian Lee this Friday. Our reply to Sega. What is that? What is that? Oh, they haven't sent this yet. Well, that's their reply to Sega. Interesting. So I did take a quick skim through this time extension article, but there's nothing extra here. There's nothing more so here than what was in the email. There's more in the email than what's in this article. So, like, whatever, right? So I don't know why they're like, yeah, stay tuned, go to time extension. There's no more information there. There's more information in this article, in this email, than there was in that article. But yeah, this doesn't really shock anybody. But I feel for the people who got their money taken from them, who didn't expect that to happen. That sucks. That sucks for sure. But see what happens here, dude. These guys are idiots. That's all I got to say. If I was involved in a project like this, I'm not the the brightest person in the world. I'm just not. I'm not an idiot as well, I wouldn't be using their freaking name in my product. Like, I think even like if you were like 12 years old and older, you would know that. The hell's wrong with these guys? I think these guys are older than I am. The frick's wrong with them? But yeah, there you go. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye. Idiots.